I decided to spend the night with a homeless man. So I went to the dirtiest landfill in the city to find one. Will you be my boyfriend for the night? The homeless man's answer surprised me.
No, ma'am, thanks.
What about this? If you spend the night with me, you'll get $1,000. The beggar's eyes sparkled when he saw the money.
That's 5 times what I used to make at my last job.
Job? Don't be ridiculous. Would you really be here if you had a job? The man, Mike, got into alignment with me and I took him to a salon. The best professionals in town made him look quite handsome in a couple of hours.
I forgot that I used to look like this.
Like this? Are you still fantasizing?
Why are we doing this? Is it some kind of social experiment?
No experiments, just business. I was going to make millions off this bomb. I took Mike to my father's posh mansion and introduced him as my new boyfriend. Dad, I've changed. I now see and love people for their soul.
How can I be sure of that?
Well, Mike used to be homeless, but I still fell in love with him. My father decided that he wanted to know Mike better and started questioning him. Mike was not lost for words and quickly came up with a cool story in which he was married and even studied to be a doctor.
My young wife was diagnosed with cancer, so I had to quit my studies.
My father was interested in learning how Mike became homeless, but even then, my Mike was quite creative.
I sold the house and used all my money to save her. But it was no use. My wife died anyway. And I ended up on the street.
Mike's story touched my father so much that he cried. And I was glad that I had chosen this dreamer. I would even give him an extra $50 if I was feeling generous.
You found a worthy man. I'll ensure a brighter future for you.
My plan worked, and my father gave me what I dreamed of, to be included in his will. I immediately took Mike outside and handed him $1,000. The story about your wife's cancer was a brilliant idea. Poked the old man right in the feelings.
What do you mean?
I told him that my father also had cancer and that he didn't have much time left. That foolish old man decided to re-educate me before passing away and teach me how to see past a person's money. Imagine, he threatened to leave me with nothing. Seems like I outsmarted him. At that moment, Mike froze, and his eyes filled with tears. I decided to bring the poor fellow back to reality. Hey, are you going to take the money? That's a lot, you fool.
You gave me more than his. I remembered my dream again.
Even better for me. I'll keep the 1,000. I got Mike out of the house and went to celebrate my victory. I spent the next few years drinking and partying, so much that I eventually spent all of my father's money without noticing. Having lost everything, I ended up in the same landfill I met Mike at. One day, I saw him again. Sir, would you give me some change for bread? Mike? He was so rich that I didn't recognize him at first. But how is this possible? You are a beggar. As it turned out, Mike had changed his life after we met. He saved every penny he managed to get his hands on and went to college.
It took me 8 years to become a doctor. Where are your millions?
At that moment, I realized what my father wanted me to learn. But it was too late. I put my trust in the wrong people. I surrounded myself with fake friends who abandoned me as soon as I ran out of money. I started crying and tried to leave, but Mike stopped me and offered me a job at the hospital. Wait, what's the catch? Why are you helping me?
There's no catch. Real wealth is inside you. It won't burn out, depreciate, or even disappear.
One's soul is their greatest possession. It should be protected more than a safe.